How are you? This is Coach Chris with Personally Fit. I'm sitting at my dining room table. It's noon on Thursday, December 14th. Can you believe 2018 is right around the corner? I had to talk myself out of working out, which I would have normally done, but I have a little bit of a cold, and I think I better be a little more cautious. I'm a little run down, so working out, which I don't like to just go through the movements, I want to work out hard, might wear me down more. So I took a little break from that, might do a little easy cardio later and just some mobility work, and then of course just take care of myself. So we're still opening up the Fat Loss Playbook, not giving up on ourselves during the holidays. We're going to keep trying to be healthier, and if we need to lose weight, we're going to try to be leaner, or at least maintain, don't gain, and create some long-term habits like we do on our Personally Fit nutrition coaching plan. So the two main topics, the one I forgot to mention is all diets work for a while. So that's one thing we're going to talk about. And then common mistakes dieters make. And see if you've done any of these. I know I've made a ton of mistakes over the years. I've worked with high-level athletes who need to get to single digits, and have done that for myself, for sports, making weight, and so forth. But none of it was sustainable. So all diets work for a while. 2018 is right around the corner, and you're going to see all kinds of stuff peddled on infomercials. The green, caffeine, cuckoo berry, you name it, PX90, Zumba abs, you name it, and they're going to be the secret for somebody. And actually, they're just going to be another exercise or nutrition program that you go on and off. So it could be something sold, meals, normal junk food sold in low-fat, low-calorie versions of it, prepackaged meals, instead of working on the long-term habits. So all diets work for a while, mainly because there's something that you get on and then you get off. They're not sustainable. Doesn't that make sense? The habits that help you get lean should help keep you lean. So the eating style that helps get you lean should also help keep you lean. And if you can't maintain that for a long period of time, it's going to be hard to lose that 10, 15, 20, 50 pounds and keep it off. So any diet you go on, a low carb plan, a low fat plan, a prepackaged plan, but then you go back to your normal eating habits without really looking at those, you're probably going to gain that weight back. Maybe not quickly, but you will more than likely gain it back. I know I've done that many a time in my life, in my adult life, since high school, for sports and or just for life. As an adult, like most of us, I'd go on a regimen, exercise more. For me, I like to go on a higher protein, lower carb kind of regimen, but I couldn't stick to it long enough with the other habits that would keep the weight off. So I'd revert back to my old weight and old habits. So think about what is sustainable. Learn something from any of those diets. You want to go on Atkins, learn a little bit about why that would work. Now, I hear Atkins people always tell me you can eat all the bacon you want. You know what? I love bacon, and I include it in my nutrition plan, but you can't eat pounds of bacon and expect to be healthy. It doesn't seem to make sense, right? Have some bacon as part of a good balanced diet or a lower carb plan. But nobody's going to tell me that eating an apple once in a while is going to make you fat either. So is it sustainable over the long haul? So look at any of the books that are out there that have been there for a while. They probably have something in there you can glean from them. And can you draw from those and use them over time? People talk about the Mediterranean diet. Well, it makes sense to eat more beans, lentils, plenty of vegetables. Nobody's been sent to a fat rehab place because they ate too many Brussels sprouts or broccoli. I just don't hear that very often. Okay, so let's think about adding more vegetables. That's going to be something. If diet plan says to have vegetables, think about all the vegetables you like, and then try new ones that you may not have tried before and see if you can add them to your plan. So vegetables are super important to a long-term weight loss and weight maintenance plan. Now, something we don't talk about, but your body also adjusts. So if you've lost 10 or 20 pounds, your body's physiologically different than it was when you were 20 or 25 pounds heavier. A couple things are going to happen. If you've been fortunate enough to strength train and do some cardio, your body might not have slowed down its basal metabolism. Or it may have. Most people over cardio and lose some muscle mass, and your body just fights it. So your workouts might be great, but your day-to-day activity may have decreased and you haven't paid attention to that. I used to really notice that with wrestling season with a lot of wrestlers. They might work out really hard once or twice a day, but they weren't walking around campus. They were getting rides. They weren't walking to where they lived. They were getting rides. Their day-to-day activity really dropped. And a lot of extra calorie burning comes from that day-to-day activity. So pay attention to what you're doing. Try to keep that activity up. Get up on the hour and walk around. So your physiology changes. Obviously, if you've gotten more muscular and more conditioned because you've added exercise to your weight loss program, you might need to eat a little more protein and healthy carbohydrates to stay lean, because you're not able to keep your muscle and keep your workouts intense enough to maintain those muscles and your health and performance. So you might need to eat a little more of the good stuff. Some healthy, like I said, carbohydrates, beans, lentils, whole grains, and some more lean proteins out there, chicken, fish, eggs, and maybe some vegetable sources. So your body does change. But like I said, the biggest thing is most diets are pretty extreme, low fat, low carb, ketogenic, whatever, and they all may have benefits, but what can be sustainable instead of being able to go on a diet and off a diet? So think about that. So if you have foods you like, and you're depriving yourself of those all the time, you're probably not going to be able to sustain it. So fortunately for me, I like everything. So eating animal products, eating vegetables makes it easier for me. And I like plenty of the other stuff that we would call bad food, and I just don't keep it around me. Don't eat it often and eat it in limited amounts. So with the holidays around, that's something to really think about too. So common mistakes dieters make is they just don't plan ahead. Okay, people who need to lose weight, they aren't planning ahead. So as this weekend comes around, it's Thursday, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. Most people don't plan, and they blow a week of exercise and dieting on a weekend. For a lot of women, that's double the wine and sweets maybe. For men, it might be beer and nachos. Heck, it might be beer and nachos for women too. One of the things about alcohol is it does uninhibit your appetite. Once you've had a certain amount of alcohol, you're with some friends, you're going to notice that it's easy to snack on chips, other foods that you normally wouldn't eat. And a lot of those foods sure don't fill you up. So I don't know, the potato chip company that says you can't just eat one. That's pretty true. Those potato chips don't fill you up. If you let yourself, you can eat a bag of potato chips and eat close to probably 1,000 extra calories of not healthy food that didn't satisfy you and kept you off your program. Now, as you go into the weekend also, trying to eat so strictly and so rigidly, trying to eat perfectly, low carb, low fat, whatever it is, certain amount of protein, sets you up also for a binge over the weekend. I'd rather my customers and myself do a B diet, a B plus diet that I can stick to, rather than an A diet that I keep falling off of and binging and feeling guilty and shameful and giving up on myself. So that's the other thing. Often when you step outside of the bounds of your rigid program, you feel like you've blown it and you just keep going. When you mess up, you just keep up. Remember the zone diet that went out? And it had some benefits. Well, as I tell everybody, if you were on the zone diet and you stepped out of the zone, just step back in. One of my customers asked me the other day, Chris, what's better to do if I blow it on my diet and eat too much of the wrong foods? Should I just skip a meal or should I just get back on my regimen? And I always recommend just get back on your regimen, because those habits of regular feedings are really important. Remember, a diet isn't just about what you shouldn't be eating. It's also about what you should be eating, okay? Because that's so important. If most of us spend our time focusing on what we should be eating, more vegetables, a variety of colorful vegetables, some fruit, whole grains, and lean proteins, and then every now and then some healthy fats too in the form of avocados, nuts, coconut oil, maybe peanut butter, olive oil. These things, we're going to feel good. And cooking them in ways we like, that's going to be great. So plan ahead for this weekend coming up. I know a lot of my friends, we have a party to go to. One of my clients said he has 4 parties to go to. So today we talked about working out, eating, sticking to his plan today, sticking to it tomorrow, getting some extra cardio tomorrow, and then eating a good breakfast so he doesn't go hungry. So plan ahead for the weekends. Now, also on the weekends, one way you can keep yourself from binging is allow yourself maybe some diet soda. We call these buffer foods. I didn't invent that. Another nutrition coach did, but it really makes a lot of sense. I used to stay away completely from diet sodas, water, protein drinks, coffee, some alcohol once in a while. But now I allow myself a diet soda once in a while. If most people are eating drinking 2 Cokes a day and a sweet tea, you know what? Drinking a Diet Coke or a once or twice a week sure isn't going to knock you off your diet plan. It may not be the best thing for you, but if it satisfies you, keeps you from overeating other sweets or other foods that would really knock you off your plan, allow yourself a diet soda or a real sweet piece of fruit. Something that may not be on your normal nutrition plan that really helps you stick to your plan. So that would be one thought. Also, if you're going to a cocktail party and you're bringing food, you may be the one to bring the vegetable platter. Vegetables you like with maybe some kind of dip. It could be hummus, could be guacamole, could be just a dip you made with sour cream and some kind of vegetable dip. My wife does that. Can't tell you how many times we've been to parties and get-togethers where we are the only people who brought some vegetables, where most of the stuff was just sweets and baked goods and high-fat, high-sugar desserts. And that always is wild to me because even though I love to eat, I don't want to eat just that, sweets. I want to eat something that actually sustains me and makes me feel good from the inside out. And I love vegetables, so I would want to eat that. Or we've brought fruit trays. That's happened a lot to us over the years, and we're always kind of scratching our head, not because we're so perfect. It's just the idea that people think that at a party, all you need to do is have processed foods, desserts, baked goods that aren't going to keep you lean, even though half the conversation is about staying healthy and lean. So think about that. If you're going to a party, maybe you're the one to bring some of the healthier foods. Last but not least, think about who you're hanging out with, because that plays a huge role. If you're hanging out with your buddies who just want to go out and have beer, watch basketball, and eat nachos once or twice a week, you're going to have a hard time sticking to your plan. You may not want to divorce your friends, but you might want to set yourself up for more success. Maybe not do it as often, or like I said, have a vegetable tray if you're going to somebody's house. Decide ahead of time. Don't decide then, because often then we don't have the willpower. It's hard to stick to a plan with just willpower, because eating 4 to 5 times a day is, you do that for 7 days a week, that's 35 or however many meals. You know, if you have to use willpower to eat healthy, you're going to struggle because you have to exert a lot of willpower. So anticipating and planning and strategizing ahead of time is still essential. Well, Chris, I don't have time. You're right. We are busy people. So you need to make time. Look at your calendar. Look at what you do to waste time. Maybe you just flip channels, which is something I've been guilty of, and waste an hour a day doing that in the morning. Maybe you like reading your paper, but you kind of dawdle on it and read longer than you need to. You've already gotten the information. Look at your time wasters. Usually you have some, and use some of that time to plan and prepare. You won't be sorry. If your goal is to be lean in 2018, you need to do that. Now, for any of you, we are doing a health challenge this year. You're going to get, I meant to mention that for our customers and non-customers. We're giving money away to Agape of North Carolina, and we're giving points for healthy habits you do, from exercise to eating fruit every day to drinking your water like you're supposed to, and you get points. It's team-oriented, so the teams will acquire points over time. If weight loss is an outcome of it, there are points available, but we're not allowing you to lose weight unabandoned here. You can only get up to points for up to 2 pounds a week of weight loss. So if people make that something they want to work on, we're not going to allow for any crazy behavior here, because we want you to have sustainable habits. So what do you want to work on that is sustainable? I was talking to a friend of mine I've worked with in the fitness industry, and I was trying to get her to eat more protein foods. I was encouraging her to research that. She loves her vegetables, and she does a good job, but she has like 1 hard-boiled egg a day. I was saying, let's get 2 eggs in you, maybe even 3, or something else with some protein, and add some vegetables to that breakfast. So maybe some sliced tomatoes, or cook that egg with some spinach. Fill yourself up. Don't just eat. Try to enjoy yourself. Okay? So, last but not least, some of the common mistakes dieters make is not knowing what they're eating, how much they're eating, and why they're eating it. So, a food journal, a food log, MyFitnessPal, a photo of it. Maybe even for a week or 2, you want to weigh your food and really see how much you are eating of it and journal it, and then kind of try to figure out on one of the ways how many calories that is, so you have an idea of what you're doing it. So what you're eating, most people think they're eating more vegetables and fruit. Research shows this, than they really are eating. Most people also think they're eating more protein than they are, which is interesting. And last but not least, why you're eating. Are you really hungry? Do you really need that? Are you eating just because you're with your friends, because you're at a party? Or are you stressed and you're eating just to deal with the stress in your life? Are you bored? Are you eating to deal with that boredom? Or because you've made it habit, every time you watch a sport on TV, you sit on the couch and like to snack. Think about that too. So what you're eating, how much you're eating of it, and why you're eating. There's a lot of reasons why. That has really been an interesting odyssey for me and journey this last year. My wife will, and she can do it. She'll want to sit down and have her dinner at the on the couch and watch one of our shows we like to watch, and I'll sit at the table and try to eat it, because that's a habit that's really helped me, because I'm much more mindful of how much I'm eating, and it helps me to slow down. If I'm watching TV, I'm just eating. I know I went to a movie over Thanksgiving, and man, I just shoveled in the snacks we took in with abandon and kind of unaware of it, because we were watching the movie, and the excitation of watching a really exciting movie will do that to you. And research bears that out. So think of all those habits as you go into the new year. I hope you're excited about all this and taking care of yourself. Go to our website, look at our personally fit nutrition coaching plan. Honestly, if you have 10, 20, 50, even 100 pounds to lose, this is a year-long journey, or even 2-year-long journey you might want to take. But wouldn't it be exciting for you to lose that weight and keep it off the rest of your life? I know I am not going into the holidays with trepidation, worrying about gaining the weight back, which I always would, because of the habits I've worked on and I keep working on. So it's not something you start and then stop. It's not a 6 weeks plan. It's a long-term plan. So for me, eating slow, eating till I'm 80% full, prioritizing protein foods, vegetables, and then some healthy fats. I make that the core of what I do. Don't worry about the other stuff. It's been a lot easier for me. And I also haven't been over-exercising to get my weight down. I'm exercising. That's what I do as a profession, and I believe in it, but I'm not over-exercising to the point that I need to rely on so much exercise to burn calories or to deal with stress. I'm more using other measures to deal with stress. So I hope some of this has been helpful to you. Comment, please. Share this with your friends. We'll have this on our YouTube channel at Personally Fit Coach. And also you can see this and look at all the series of our Opening the Fat Loss Playbook on our Facebook. So we hope we can help you. We want to be your body transformation specialists in 2018. Check out our website at personallyfit.net. We have great coaches, and you are just not a name and a number at our facility. You are somebody we care about, and we want you to succeed. This is Coach Chris at Personally Fit. Take care, and Merry Christmas.